Grammy was born June 1st, 1999, and when I was pregnant with him, that is when I got a Rogam shot, back when Rogam had mercury, and then he got the Hep B. He was born a little bit early, and they gave it to him right before we left the hospital, and he shrieked and cried and cried and cried and cried. He had terrible jaundice, colic all through infancy. I breastfed. And then when he was, so every vaccine that was recommended, I would go and they would say, well, this is what he's supposed to get and this is what he's supposed to get. And the Hib had come out, and I didn't know what the Hib was. And I said, I've never heard of that. And they said, you know, well, if you don't get it, your baby can die. Do you want your baby to die? I'm like, no. You know, I mean, no, God, no. So I remember specifically that particular vaccine. And we just went along with whatever they said. His Tylenol before and after. And then he had, you know, so my Rogam plus his dozen shots. And then when he was 12 months old, we took him in. And before we went in, and he was a happy baby, eye contact, playful, and he wasn't talking up a storm. But he had started, I remember specifically, a couple days before we went in to get the MMR, he was pointing at the little stone statues in our neighbor's front yard. And it was duck and turtle and frog. And he was pointing at them and identifying them. And he would point to go outside or point for up. And he would, you know, mama, daddy. And he would identify little animals. He loved animals. And he got the MMR and the varicella at 12 months.
Not allowed.
And he completely zoned out. And we have him on video. He just zoned. And it was just, it was the strangest thing. And we have him on video, and we have his little cake and his candle, and he won't look at it, he won't touch it, he won't look at us. And we're like, what's going on? But he wasn't this kid. We weren't in the hospital. We didn't have the shrieking and crying that, you know, you hear about. But he didn't talk again for years. And we went to the doctor's office, and it was less than a month later, and I have his records, and he said, oh, he's speaking, and he noted it, stopped speaking. And nothing, just nothing. No, oh, this is bad, this is concerned, oh, well, he wasn't really talking that much. He'll start talking again. It's like, well, he was talking. And then the diarrhea, the frothy, horrible, explosive diarrhea. And the doctors would just say, oh, it's just toddler diarrhea.
What diarrhea?
Toddler diarrhea. Just toddler diarrhea. It's just, you know, that's very common. Very common. What to do? Nothing. You know, and that just went on. It just went downhill from there. And it was, you know, the diarrhea and no speech and aggression and some repetitive behavior. No eye contact. If we're out and about, you know, we have all these pictures of him, and he's stacking stuff when he's, you know, before he's 1, and he's playing, and he plays with other kids, and he did these things kind of along the way, but he has just gotten sicker and sicker as the years go by.
So how old is he now?
He's 17.
And what's his vaccine taken from him? What's his life like because of these vaccines?
I mean, everything. He's taken his voice. He has no friends. He can't go to school right now, so I'm homeschooling. Because his adrenal system is totally destroyed. He lives in a constant state of fight or flight, and the noises are so distressing to him. Anything sudden. Now we are starting the guardianship process, and we are, you know, planning for where's he going to live when he's older, who's going to take care of him, how much is that going to cost, but who will take care of him. And who will make sure that he's not hurt, and that he's happy, and that not only that, I mean, the worst is he has the things he loves in life. He loves to go on the boat and just be out on the ocean, and he's peaceful, and he's just, so that's his only place where he's just, everything else is gone, and he's just so relaxed and happy, and it's amazing to see him there in that setting, which is why we moved away from Texas, Central Texas. And But who's going to do that for him? You know, who's going to take him, like, can you go horseback riding ever again? You know, we had to stop that because behavior was so difficult, and something, you know, something sudden would happen and upset him. And so what kind of life is he going to have? You know, is he going to be stuck someplace and people are going to abuse him and we're not going to know because he can't tell us? And I mean, he's verbal, but he can't have a conversation with you. And he can't say someone hurt him.
How is your daughter in all of this? Because it's very tough on the siblings.
She's afraid. And she's very afraid. She's very anxious. She loves him and is a fierce protector, but she's scared of being his sole caregiver. And she's like, am I going to have any life? How am I going to have any kind of a life? How am I going to have kids of my own if I have to take care of Grammy?
Gotta keep
Well,
keeping on. And why are you doing this? Why do you want them to see the DVD? What is it? What's in it for you to show them the DVD?
well, I've seen you say it. You know, my son is already damaged. I mean, there's nothing to be done for my son. But my daughter asked me one day, Mom, are my kids going to be like Graham? And I said, no, they're not. Absolutely over my dead body. You know, no, they're not going to be like Graham. And this is what's, you know, this is why you're not, you know, things need to change. People need to know. And I have told people that I know, people my age, and I don't know if you've come across this, but I find that the parents of these older kids, these teenagers, it's like they're kind of out of it now. And it's like the damage is done. And I spoke with a couple friends and I told them what my daughter asked me, and it just struck them because they just weren't even thinking about it. They're so focused on the here and the now in this child, they weren't thinking about their future and what their future is going to look like. And I watch all these parents and they're all into their kids and they're posting, oh, they've won this sports championship and won this and going to this college and oh, how great. I mean, there's no life if you have a child with autism. I mean, that future is bleak. And it's just so upsetting to see these people not act to protect their children's future.
I think there's a great many people who just think it will never be them.
Yeah.
I mean, why would it be them? That's what I used to think. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't worry about disability because we didn't have any in the family, so there was nothing that, you know,
Yeah.
like that stupid stuff.
It's those people. Oh, it's just you.
Right. And thank you. And thank you on behalf of all the autism community for all the things you donate to organisations. You're an amazing family. And we just got to go ahead and build futures for these people, our beautiful loved ones. That's our job.